Hello and welcome to the 2014 Santa Clarita City Council Candidates Forum.
I'm Gloria Mercado Fortine, and I am a lifelong resident of the Santa Clarita Valley. Professionally, I have served as a teacher and principal and district administrator. I am currently an education consultant and CEO of Global Education Solutions. I have been privileged to serve on the Harte Governing Board for 15 years, the largest full-time employer in the Santa Clarita Valley, and among the highest performing districts in the state. As board president and governing board member, I have successfully led the way in the face of hard economic times and challenging issues. I am running for city council because I want to bring that experience, leadership, and energy to the city council. Among my priorities are to strategically plan for future growth and invest in public infrastructure, including providing better roads, more sports fields, sheriff station, senior center, and other public amenities. Secondly, enhance public safety resources to protect families and neighborhoods and ensure that they are safe and free from drugs, gangs, and graffiti and other crime. Thirdly, focus on business development strategies to retain and grow new business and industry so that we can generate a strong local economy and good paying jobs for local residents. I look forward to continuing to serve my community, and I ask for your vote on April 8th. Please go to my website, Gloria at gloriaforcitycouncil.com, and that's the number 4.
Do you think we should change anything about the structure of our current form of government? For example, the number of seats on city council, having an elected mayor, or moving to districts?
Well, I'm not in favor of districting. I think that it can be divisive because it splits our whole city into geographical areas. And so if you're voted for within that geographical area, you're only going to take care of that area. That's your priority. I am a locally elected official, and I like the fact that I represent everyone across the board. It doesn't matter what geographic area they're in. And perhaps down the line when the city really grows and takes over the whole valley, it should be reviewed again. I do agree that I hope that the Register Recorder's Office can update their voting mechanism so that we can move our elections to general year elections, and I think that would provide more, encourage more people to vote because they do come out. But it doesn't really take care of our minority. It doesn't increase our minority voters.
The city is looking at a billboard proposal from Metro. What do you think the city should do about this?
Well, there are two issues. We're talking about, are we talking about beautification of the city? And if that's the case, then I think that the removal of all these billboards along Railroad and Soledad would certainly do a lot to enhance the beautification of the city. I am concerned about the use of billboards. And some of these billboards do not look good, and they need a lot of work if they're to remain. But I do know that small businesses do use these billboards as a way to advertise their business. So if we're going to remove those, I think we need to come in with something that's going to support those small businesses that have been using those billboards. Whether it's coming in and helping them with the new marketing strategies, using more social media, whatever it is, but we can't just leave them out there. And the electronic billboards is not really a place where a lot of the small businesses are going to use. That's not their clientele off of the 14 or the 5.
Do you think the Santa Clarita Valley's emergency winter shelter should be available and open year-round to serve the population? And if so, where should that shelter be located?
Yes, I would support a year-round shelter. I think it really takes all of us working as a community to come up to some resolution on this. We're not talking about that the numbers are big. I've been at the shelter several times, and we haven't had a terrible winter. But I think there are other things throughout the year, but I think it's important that it is not looked on as a place that is permanent, but that we we work collaboratively with our faith-based organizations, our mental health services, and come together to get them out of that homelessness, to provide the services, to see if we can line them up with jobs. I think that would be the purpose of Bridge to Home, and everything we can do to just get them out of the homelessness.
What do you think is the proper role for a city council member in terms of managing staff?
I agree with that. Having served as an elected official for 24 years, your role as an elected is to set the policy, and that's why you hire your CEO, your superintendent, your city manager to implement that policy with their staff. There needs to be that separation. And otherwise, you ask for a lot of problems doing that, and you'll confuse your staff as well. But that's the role of a city council member. Set policy. You have fiduciary responsibility. You hire the city manager, and let them do the job that you hired them for.
The city of Santa Clarita has successfully had well over 20 annexations. At times, annexations are revenue neutral, meaning they don't cost the city anything. Other times, the annexations bring money to us as a result of increased sales tax, and there are times we'd actually lose money. Would you vote yes or no to annex Stevenson Ranch, West Ranch into the city of Santa Clarita?
And of course, that was the aforementioned Frank Ferry, and this question goes first to Gloria Mercado Fortine.
I think that we need to look at that annexation west of the freeway, but I would not just annex it. I think we need to really work with our neighbors to the west. We need to make sure that we listen to them, that we bring them along, because it will be their decision. And I think that it's going to be important to work on those relationships, because I don't think they're very strong right now. And so, first of all, it's really working with the west side of our valley, and really listening to what they want. But I do see at certain time in the future that we would be one city. This whole valley would be one.
In order to encourage economic growth, the city regularly supports businesses with either tax incentives or subsidies to bring more jobs to Santa Clarita. If elected, what types of these incentives or subsidies would you propose?
Agree with us with supporting incentives and tax breaks for businesses. I think that the more we can do, the better to attract businesses here and to help also retain businesses. There are some good things going on that have been said. The no business license fees, the no utility users, no gross receipts tax, and so forth. Those are good things. But I also think in terms of retaining business, we really do need to provide them with a lot more support. Now, some of the concerns I'm hearing is still in terms of the permitting process. And even though there's been some streamlining of those permitting process, there's still some challenges there. And I think we need to relook at that. I think that part of the problem is maybe they keep changing inspectors on them. There's quite a few things that we can do that goes beyond giving them a manual, but doing much more with them. I think we have some great mechanisms. The College of the Canyons has been
Thank you.
great.
Got to cut you off there because we got to get one last question in real quick. And
Is it appropriate for the city to use its public tax dollars to support services the county is responsible for funding? Can you provide an example of when that might be appropriate?
I think everybody's mentioned about the senior center, but also collaboration with the county is very important. I mean, that's the only way we're going to maximize the needs that we have. Because it takes two. I mean, the city and the county. I can tell you that about schools, just in trying to get schools built. We have to collaborate with the county. If we're going to really provide all the infrastructure and meet the needs of all residents, there has to be collaboration.